They're the two heavyweights of the running shoe world, the top sellers of two of the world's biggest running shoe brands. And their success has spawned entire lines of shoes, both within their own organizations and within their competitors. The ASICS Superblast and the Adidas Adizero Evo SL have experienced the sort of success that brands only dream about. Most importantly for us as runners, the success of these two shoes as daily trainers has made them a vital ingredient of many of our rotations. Now that the Superblast 3 has just released, I thought it would be a good idea to compare the two to see how they run against each other, to essentially find out whether these two shoes still represent the ultimate in daily trainer performance. Let's start with a quick catch up on the stats around these two mega shoes. I have of course done several review videos on each of these shoes, so I will link to them below and I won't spend too long on these facts. But just so you know, when I refer to the Evo SL during this review, I will be talking about the Evo SL original. The Superblast 3 has a stack of 46.5mm at the back and 38.5mm at the front for an 8mm drop, and on my dodgy kitchen scales weighs in at 229 grams or 8.08 ounces in my US 9.5. The Evo SLs have a 7mm drop from 39mm to 32mm and weigh just a tiny bit less than the Superblast 3s at 222 grams in my US 9.5. Now that was the right shoe. Interestingly, the left shoe came in at 233 grams. So let's just say the Evos and the Superblast 3s both weigh about the same. The Superblast has no plate holding all of that foam together, although I would argue that it probably should have one. The Evo SL also does not have a full-length plate as we understand it, but they do have in the middle of the shoe a small plastic puck to add a little bit of stability to the run. One of the really big differences between these two shoes is price. And price is something that I don't often discuss because actually it's quite a personal choice. But in this case, it absolutely needs to be mentioned. In most markets, the Evo SL sells for about 70% the price of the Superblast 3. And in most markets, the Evo SL can be found for a lot cheaper than that, where the Superblast 3 cannot. In Australia, for instance, the recommended retail price of the Evo SL is $240. The recommended retail price of the Superblast 3 is $340. However, I don't think I have ever spent more than about $150 on a pair of Evo SLs. There are so many discounts available. But Superblast 3 is very unlikely to go on sale for a very long time. And so, as I said, while I often don't discuss price, that absolutely must be kept in mind for this comparison. Also, it should be mentioned that the Evo SL comes in about 1,000 different color combinations. Every single one of them could be described as a fashion icon, where the Superblast 3 comes in only 3 colorways right now. I've spent a week running in both shoes for the same runs, and so what I do is I'll go out wearing one pair of shoes, run say 5 kilometers, then I'll come home, change immediately into the other pair of shoes, and go out and run exactly the same 5 kilometers. This way, the differences between the two shoes, and there are many, become very, very clear. The two main areas that I wanted to talk through when it comes to the difference between these shoes are quality and performance. First up, let's talk about quality. The Superblast 3, first of all, is built to incredibly high standards. The quality and the comfort is very, very clear in every aspect of the shoe's build. From the tongue and the laces to the beautifully padded heel cup to the multi-layered design of the upper, and to all of this coming in at an incredibly low weight. It's clear that the Superblast 3 is pretty much the highest quality running shoe that is available right now. The Evo SL, on the other hand, is a spectacular running shoe that has been built to a price. And these are problems that we've been aware of for a long time. The tongue is too short, the laces are incredibly cheap and nasty and too short. Apart from those issues, the laces and the tongue, the padding around the heel cup is fantastic. The upper material is fairly standard, but still very high performance and very comfortable, and it breathes extremely well. Once you get the shoe done up, it is lovely to run in, and that's mainly thanks to the real star of the show, the massive slab of Light Strike Pro foam in the midsole. So, quality-wise between these two shoes, the Superblast 3 I would give 10 out of 10 for quality. I don't think there is another shoe in the market that comes close to the quality of this build right now. And the Evo SL does get punished for those terrible laces and for the tongue issues. I would give it 6 out of 10 for quality. So then we come to the second part of this review, and that is performance, and that is where the tables begin to turn the other way. The Superblast 3's incredible build quality is not reflected in its performance. At least that is in the promise of the Superblast's performance as a daily trainer. The Superblast 3 is an incredibly comfortable shoe, but it is also huge on the foot. You really feel the volume. It is very, very spongy, and it's only really suitable for slow runs. The new Superblast 3, because it is so much softer and spongier, is really only good for easy runs and recovery runs. And that's what this testing between the two shoes showed me over the last week. The Superblast 3 is really good for recovery runs. Each time I came home from a longer run in the Evo SL and changed into the Superblast 3, it felt as if my foot was reclining on a lounge, being pampered and massaged and cosseted and coddled. Superblast 3 really is a hospital shoe. It's where your feet want to be when they're sore and tired and beaten up. Comfy? Absolutely. Fast? Absolutely not. And that's where I ask the question, if they are not fast, are they a daily trainer? Can a shoe that is not fast still be defined as a daily trainer? I say no. The Evo SL, on the other hand, is truly happy at any pace. Whether you are doing a fast run, an easy run, a recovery run, it doesn't matter. The Evo SL will be there for you. The shoe itself is also an excellent size in terms of volume, in terms of the way it feels on your foot. It never gets in the way. It never feels too big. The Evo, thanks to that brilliant Light Strike Pro foam, really is happy at any pace. I have taken these shoes out for easy runs, and I have taken them out for fast runs, and they have performed brilliantly in every situation, and that is exactly what a daily trainer should do. And so for performance, I would give the Evo SL a 9 out of 10 and the Superblast 3 a 4 out of 10, simply because that softness and sponginess does make it really difficult on any runs that go above a slow pace. And that, I think, makes it quite difficult to recommend as a daily trainer. But that's just my opinion. Finally, I did want to find out what Jen and Benny both think of these two shoes. Here's what they had to say. Okay, Benny, out of the Superblast 3 and the Evo SL, which shoe would you choose to take on a run?
Definitely the Evo SL.
And why is that?
It's just better overall, like everything about it.
There's nothing about the Superblast 3 that's better than the Evo SL?
No, 100% not.
Okay, so what do you like about the Evo SL?
Well, I like the design, I like how it runs. I mean, I wouldn't say it's very good for like faster runs, like PB runs, but I reckon it's just better overall for everything than the Superblast 3.
What would you give the Evo SL out of 5?
4.
And what would you give the Superblast 3 out of 5?
2.
Okay, Ben, thank you. High five. And Jenny, thanks for sharing your opinion as well. We've got your Superblast 3s here, as well as your Evo SLs. Which shoe would you choose for a run?
It depends on the run. A comfy, easy run, I would definitely choose the Superblast. If I wanted to go a little bit faster for like an interval session, I would go with the Evo SLs.
So for a slower, more comfy run?
Superblast 3.
Yeah, and for a faster type of run?
Evo SLs.
Okay, so what would you give each shoe out out of 5?
I've thought about this for a considerable amount of time. I have given them each a rating of 4 out of 5. This is a better running experience.
The Evo SL?
The Evo SL. However, they're quite difficult to get on my foot because of the ungusseted tongue and the short laces. And I find myself getting quite frustrated in that, doing that process of actually just putting on the shoe before the run. The Superblast, they wrap around my foot like a warm doona. I just slip my foot in and it's just absolutely lovely. Easy to wear, easy to put on, and the laces are amazing.
All right. So even scores, but very different purposes.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you for that. High five.
High five.
And so there we have it. The final scores for quality, performance, and second opinions, of course, from Jenny and Ben. The Evo SLs in this test of daily trainers came out well ahead with 23 points out of 30, and the Superblast 3s earned 20 out of 30. This, of course, is not a highly scientific process, and I think if we had the Superblast 2 instead of the Superblast 3, it would have been a very different result. But we're here today because of the release of the Superblast 3, so that's the way it happens. A daily trainer, I think, should fit the description of a shoe that you're really happy to take away on holidays, confident that it will be able to cope with every single run you're going to do. The Superblast 3 doesn't really fit that description for me, but the Evo SL certainly does. I hope that helps you in your purchase decisions, whether you're out for a daily trainer or whether you're looking for an incredibly high quality, comfortable running shoe. If you are after a true do-it-all daily trainer, the Evo SL is a fantastic choice, and as an added bonus, it's a whole lot cheaper. That's it for this week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if this video was helpful at all, so you don't miss out on future reviews. Run safe. We'll see you next time.